Does anything like now? This darkness is what I hear. This is a breathless silence, a moment out of time. I see your face in the shadows, the telltale signs are in your eyes. More than I can hold in my hand, running through the gaps like water, aching with a passion inside. Deep as the river of desire.
Today's goal is Daylight Peak, the peak on the right. Should be a pretty short one, a little steep maybe, but not too bad. Parked at Daylight Pass, right off the main road. Plenty of room for parking. And should be a good one. Gonna be a short one today after yesterday's attempt on Ashford, so looking forward to it. Trying to figure out the best approach. I got GPS points that go that way, and then one that just goes right up the gut, which doesn't look like fun. But they all look kind of steepish, so that line right there in the middle looks somewhat okay, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that's going to be better over there. We'll have to, I'm just going to go a little higher and try and figure it out from there. So I think I'm going to go for that ridge right there. Doesn't look to be too steep. The southerly ridge, and then just go right up the ridge line. Should be pretty straightforward once I get up there. Up there's the peak somewhere. Went ahead and put my microspikes on. I don't know if I really need them, but it's already been a little bit loose. And I figure, why wait? Just put them on. They help. So might as well just put them on now and enjoy the benefits they provide. Especially after yesterday when I should have put them on going up Ashford and got myself in a pretty precarious position. So today I'm going to be a lot more cautious.
The fire turning this night inside, and the light from you.
Well, I may not have taken the best way up. I mean, it's doable. It's just tedious because there's a lot of loose rock. Even with the microspikes, they're just piled on top of each other and they're just small enough that they move. But I'm almost near the top. Keep on saying that. And hopefully, once I get on the ridge, it should be easy. But I don't know. Looking at that hump over there, it looks kind of hard. Same with the final hump. So this one's turned out to be a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be. But hey, that's why I do it. On the ridgeline now, and pretty interesting ridgeline. It's got a lot of rock formations, so it's not just a straightforward shot. Got, looks like a couple of humps to go over before I get to Daylight Peak, which I think is that peak right there in the middle in the distance. And looking down towards Death Valley, that way. Can even see Furnace Creek. Telescope Peak on the right. was not expecting this ridgeline to be challenging. I mean, it hasn't been too hard, just there's a lot of rock formations to navigate through. Looks kind of easy from this angle, but I got off to the side a bit, which is always a mistake. Always go high. But it looked like there was an unobtainable rock outcropping. So now that's the first hump right there, and daylight's behind it. Can't see it. So it's a good, found a nice, you know, not sharp rock, almost level. So I'm gonna have a snack and then push on. I'm on the final push here, and man, it has not been fun. It's been a lot harder. I thought it was gonna be just endurance wise and, you know, agility, because it's steep and everything is loose, everything. Even my micro spikes I'm sliding. All this is just rock, it's just moving. It's not sand, it's just rock everywhere. Small enough to just, you know, be a nuisance. But I'm almost to the top. Then I might try to find another way down, because everything I've seen so far just looks really tedious and hellish. Maybe go down that way over towards that peak and then cut down left where it gets a little flatter, or it looks like it's flatter, then get to the road and then hike back to my car right alongside of the road. There's plenty of shoulder. That might be a better option. This is the final traverse over to Daylight Peak, right there on the right. Great views up here. Not looking forward to going down, but that's great. You can see Corkscrew right there in the middle. It's a really fun one. I'm at the top of Daylight Peak. Man, it's been a long traverse, starting all the way down there at that knob. I went up and then just boom, boom, boom over these humps. It's been loose. A lot of choss. Nice little unnamed peak there. Be fun to go hit if I had time, but it's already 12:30. Corkscrew Peak in the distance. And you can even see the tip of the Death Valley Buttes way down below. That was up a couple days ago. Looking up into the Grapevine Mountains. A lot of unexplored territory back there. I think in the far distance is Wahoogie Peak. I don't know how you say it. And then looking east towards Rhyolite and Beatty. And then there's some really cool mountains just to the south of Beatty that I want to check out right there in the distance. They got some pretty cool colors to them, especially when the sun's hitting them at sunset. I always lose English capabilities. But no, it's it's beautiful. It cooled down. I mean, it warmed up. There's no wind hardly, which is kind of surprising, because at the pass I was cold. But now I got to figure out how to get down. The topo map looks really nice just going down that way, but it brings me back pretty far into that canyon. Then I got to somehow get all the way back to the car, which could be a little dicey given I started later today. Or I could go down that way, which actually I'm kind of digging, because it gets to that saddle. If I had time, I'd do that unnamed peak and then whip back around to the road and then hike back over the pass back to the car. I think that's the better bet. Although if I had more time, I like the idea of going east. The topo map looks a lot better that way, but oh well. I'll figure it out. I still got about 5 hours of sunlight left. Plenty of time.
Something about this thing that scares me. Something about this thing that dares me. Something about this thing that harms me. Something about this thing that taunts me.
this has not been fun. It's just all loose, everything loose. I can hit some vegetation with my spikes every now and again, which helps, but looks like I got a little bit more. Just trying to get down to that saddle. Hopefully it should be better by then. Then I gotta cut across back to the road somehow. I don't know if I'm creating more harm for myself than just going back the way I came up, but that was just so loose and steep. But this is pretty bad too. But it's not as long, it's not as steep. As soon as I get over to that midway point, I think it'll get better. Definitely will be better by the time I'm down to that saddle. So I just came down the westerly face of daylight, and man, it was tedious. I never slipped, but man, just a lot of loose stuff. Microspikes help, but they also hurt at times because there was no soft ground to get into. All right, I think I'm gonna head down the gully right here as opposed to going over there. It's hard to tell which one is not as steep, but the ground here seems pretty good. So I think once I get in the chute, I'll be fine. And then I could just head out. And eventually I'm gonna have to cut up and over that hill right in the middle. Right there. Or go all the way around it, which will just be more distance, but it's pretty high off the road. I'll just get down to that area and figure it out. Well, I made it into the chute, just not the way I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to enter right at the top, but instead I kind of cut over. And it just looked better, although I don't know if it was not as steep. But now I'm in the chute and it's been pretty easy, especially with the spikes on. There's still a lot of loose stuff, but these chutes, 9 times out of 10, are going to be easier to navigate than just coming down a slope. Now I just got to get over to that ridge line right there. Get on top of it and see what I could see.
The sickness no one knows. No one is crying for us this time, as shapes are blurring under miracles of snow. Weave a circle around him 3 times.
That's daylight up there, although a little bit behind it. I came down this ridge. It looks so gentle from this angle, but it wasn't. Very steep, very loose at parts, just the looseness. Then I came down, kind of cut over, then went into that little chute, and that was uber annoying chute. Just a lot of vegetation. Zoom in. There you go. Yeah, so kind of cut it. Well, I cut in like down there and came in. Now I've just been coming over these ravines. Got really annoyed in that chute though because of the vegetation. Problem is, I hit this little deep ass ravine right here. Actually, 2 of them. So I'm trying to get over onto that ridge line right there, and ideally my car will be right on the other side, but I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go down that a bit. But if I get on top of it, it looks pretty, gentle. And if I take all the way back, then hike back up, then I'll do that. But I didn't want to go all the way down in the little canyon area because there's going to be a lot of vegetation and it's just going to be slow going. But I've been wrong before, so crap, I could either go, well, I guess I could climb up. It doesn't look as bad up there. Then I could shoot over. Either way is going to suck. So this peak gets the award for most super annoying terrain. You can't see that I've been traversing over. I've gone over like 8 ravines. It looks flat from here, but there's all these little ravines in the middle. So you just have to go find the best way up and out. But that's the ridgeline I want to be on, so I'm close. Looks like I got just 1 more ravine to go. And right there in the center, that's where I came up initially. So I haven't come down that much, which is kind of demotivating, but oh well. I'm just, exploring. That's kind of what I'm doing on the way back, since I got, about 2.5 hours of daylight left. Might as well. So yeah, still fun, just annoying fun. So that's possible? Yeah, it is. finally get on the ridge line. You can kind of see all the different ravines I had to go cut across, which was real tedious. But then I got to the top and looked down, I was like, no. Kind of steep and loose. So I'm on the ridge line. My car's back around that bend. There's the road. I think I see a way down here. It's not too bad. Initially, I thought I was going to have to go all the way to the end of this and then cut down, which definitely would be gentler. But then I got more of a hike back. So what's worse? Going down steeper stuff at first to cut down the distance on the road, or just I think I'm gonna go down the steeper part. It doesn't look to be too bad here, but I'm definitely keeping the micro spikes on. So far it hasn't been too bad. Just been coming down slope, nice and slow. That was the alternate route, which I'm glad I didn't take. Looks kind of steep. May have been fine once you get the chute, but if it's anything like that other chute, I just gotta go down. Gets a little steepish right at the end, but then should be home free. And there's the road right there. Almost there. Almost down to the bottom, but you know, this has been tedious. I mean, it's not that steep of an angle, but all these are small rocks. Sometimes there's dirt under these, sometimes it's not. And it's really, it's hard to tell, but it's just all this loose stuff. See how all that moves? That's what happens when you stand on it too. And up there, all this crap. I don't know what you call it, choss or whatever, but it's just tedious. But I got about another 30 more feet and I should be good to go. Then back on the road. Back on the road. Time for the road walk. I think it's only going to be like maybe a half mile at most. I'm just right over there on the pass. Done with loose and steep. This was this was harder than I thought it was going to be just because of the terrain, but it has some great views at the top and got some great photos. So probably not my favorite Death Valley hike, but you know, you got to do it if you're hitting all the peaks around here. All right, time to walk the road like a lady of the night. Okay, I'm back at the pass and I can see the top of my car. So I went up that way. I can't see it with the sun, but I'm glad I did it, but I wouldn't do this one again. It's just too loose. Everything is loose on it. I mean, never had firm footing. Unless there was like big stable rock, which was few and far between, but glad I did it. Great views from the top, so you'll at least get that if you decide to brave the looseness. Until next time.